Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Today's video. Your claim is at step 6. What can you do to prevent your claim from going back to step 3? Yes, a lot of veterans are at step 6, ready to move forward, and then all of a sudden it goes back to step 3. Today's video, I'm going to share some reasons as to why and how you can prevent that from happening, because guess what? You don't want to be that veteran. Trust me. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, everyone. Again, make sure you get in the description section, click that link, and get signed up for our monthly veteran membership. So, how do you prevent your claim from going to step 3 or back to step 3 when you were at step 6? Several veterans have reached out and said, Dwayne, I was at step 6 and they took me back to step 3. And then I start asking some questions and they're like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. And that is why your claim went back to step 3 when you were at step 6, ready to be closed out, okay? And you know I got some slides for you, right? You thought you were going to get away with not having any slides today? Wrong. I got some nuggets in these particular slides, so let's go ahead and get into it. Slide number 1. Here's slide number 1. I just shared this particular M21-1 reference in a previous video. Now, also keep in mind, when I'm sharing M21-1s, when I'm sharing 38 CFRs, I may not be sharing their entire reference or regulations, okay? I'm giving you the name, and like I tell my members, you still have to go out, look at this information, and educate yourself, because you know exactly what you're doing with your particular claim, okay? So, evidence. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, Dwayne, what does evidence have to do with my claim being moved back to step 3 when I was at step 6? Veterans continue to submit evidence. You at step 6 and you submit some more evidence and the VA has to do more development, guess where you're going? Right back to step 3. Okay? Because they may have a duty to assist, maybe have to do some type of due process. Okay? So here's the nugget. Do the intent to file, get everything you need, and submit a fully developed claim. That's what that means. A fully developed claim means, hey, I have nothing else to submit. Why are you getting to step 6 and still submitting stuff? That's going to get you pushed back. That evidence that you submit, okay? So what is evidence? Evidence is every type of proof offered to establish a fact. When you submit that evidence, what are you trying to do? Establish a fact that you should be service connected. So what type of evidence do they have? Testimonial, documentary, real, demonstrative, direct, circumstantial. These are the different types of evidence that the VA lists. A couple of them, real and demonstrative, they have some examples. Okay? I do this deep dive for you guys and girls, so you don't have to do it, but you still have to do, meaning invest some time and do additional research. Okay? I'm just giving you this particular blueprint. You take it and you go from there. Okay? Let's keep going. Slide number 2. Okay? So here in slide number 2, another M21- reference. And again, I didn't copy the entire one. Okay? So it says definition, relevant records. For the purpose of VA statutory duty to notify, assist, relevant records must relate to the disability, injury, or pension, or DIC, have a reasonable possibility of helping to substantiate the claim. So guess what? You submit additional evidence, they're going to be like, man, we got to go out and do this development. We got to go out and do this development. We got to go out and do this development. So guess what? They're going to, when they do that on the back end, on the front end, it's going to say, oh, you were at step 6. We're taking you back to step 3. VA is not required to assist a claimant in obtaining identified records if no reasonable possibility exists that such assistance would aid in substantiating the claim. Now, I always thought that was kind of hard to do. Here's why. If a veteran decides to ask the VA, hey, I know I'm in step six. I just completed VA Form 21-4142. I want you to go out and get these records. I'm not a medical or mental health provider. I don't have a crystal ball to know what that evidence that veteran wants us to go out for will be able to, do anything or help their particular claim. That's what I'm looking for, okay? But I do know this. Now you just gave the VA notice duty to assist, okay? So you just move your claim from step 6 back to step 3. And that's why I'm showing you these slides and giving you these examples so you understand. Like I said in the previous slide, due to intent to file, you have 365 days to go out and get all the evidence you want. Additional treatment, then go get that evidence. Even more treatment, let me go get that evidence. So on and so on and so on. Let's keep going. Slide number 3. Here's slide number 3, another M21-1 manual reference. VA's duty to obtain relevant non-federal or private records, okay? So before I go through these in this I have highlighted in red, go and get your own evidence, people. That's the best rule of thumb, best advice I can get you. Get it yourself. Do the intent to file. Go get the records yourself. Now, some veterans will say, Dwayne, well, the doctor's office said that they only keep records up to 7, 10, 11 years, or whatever. They don't have them. Then the veteran goes and submits a 4142, and the VA goes to the same doctor. Guess what that doctor going to tell the VA? We no longer have these records. The VA does not have a magical wand to make that private doctor go to the landfill, look for your records, tape them back together, and send them in. That's not the way that works, people. I've had veterans to think that and prolong their claim, and 9 months later, they get the answer from the VA, the same answer from the VA that their private doctor gave them months earlier, okay? Okay, so it says, upon receipt of substantially complete initial or supplemental claim, VA must make reasonable efforts to assist a claimant in obtaining relevant non-federal or private records from all sources that the claimant adequately identifies. You say you got some treatment on that 526, that 0995, you just added some time onto your claim form, especially if you already submitted that claim and you submit new evidence or want the VA to go out and get non-federal records. So you can see where I'm going with this, okay? This is how you go from step 6 back to step 3. When a claimant or the claimant's representative adequately identifies the existence of relevant records, VA has a duty to obtain those records by requesting them or by sending the claimant the appropriate VA form to allow VA to request. There it is, 4142. There it is, people. But what they're not telling you, oh yeah, we have to do it when you request us to do it, but what they're not telling you, it's going to take us a long time to get it. Could be. I've never seen, this is probably one of the most slowest processes in the VA because they have 30 days. And on that 31st day, doesn't mean that they're going to be looking at your claim. Oh, did the doctor send some stuff back? It could be 60 days. Then the doctor says, oh, we don't have any records. That's another 30 days. And then the VA is going to send you a letter saying, hey, we reached out, we did all this stuff because we have a duty. And the examiner, your examiner, stated they don't have these records. And you know what else are they going to put in that letter? It is your ultimate responsibility. So why not go get them yourself in the first place? That is the nugget. Let's keep going. Slide number 4. Here in slide number 4, purpose of obtaining medical examinations and opinions. Okay, so a lot of veterans, they don't have maybe the funds or know a private examiner or know a private examiner. They will not do a DBQ and or Nexus. But the VA has a duty, okay? They have a duty to give you an exam if one is warranted, okay? The submission of a substantially complete claim triggers the duty of the Department of Veterans Affairs to assist a claimant in obtaining a medical examination or opinion when necessary to substantiate the claim. When necessary. So if you have a DBQ in Nexus per 38 CFR 3.326 subpart B and subpart C, if it's a physician statement, no future examination is necessary. You're going to hear me harping on that 38 CFR the whole year of 2025, okay? Then the next one I have highlighted in red. The purpose is to obtain medical evidence relevant to establishing entitlement to benefits when the evidence of record is not sufficient to make a decision. Diagnosis, onset, or etiology. So again, if you submit a FDC claim, you're telling the VA, hey, I don't have anything else to submit. You get to step 6, or maybe not step 6, maybe step 4 or 5, and you decide to submit a DBQ and Nexus statement. It could go back to step 3. If you're in step 6 and you submit a DBQ and Nexus statement, and I was still rating, I'm going to go ahead and grant the benefit or grant the increase if that DBQ is sufficient or not. I'm not seeing that happen. Veterans do that, and it goes back to step 3 because that VSR, they're not trained to know what makes a DBQ and Nexus statement sufficient. So guess what they do? Or what they've been doing, or what I've seen them do, is request that C&P exam. And when they do that, you go back to step 3 from step 6. So that's why it's important not only to know what can happen or what you can do to move your claim from step 6 to step 3, but also, here's the nugget. Intent to file. Take the time to get what evidence you need to get if you're that veteran, and then submit your claim. When it gets to step 6, there's nothing else for you to submit. Now, there could be, if you went out, maybe had surgery, went out and got some additional evidence that you know, especially that the VA will need to get you a higher percentage or get you service connected. Sometimes it happens. I totally understand that. But the majority of the time, it doesn't. They're giving you a whole year to hold that effective date to go out and get all this evidence. So you have to ask yourself, when you get to step 6, what more would you need to send in that you already hadn't? Because you've had a whole year to collect all of this stuff, okay? So don't be that veteran that just says, I went to urgent care because I had a hangnail. So I'm in step 6 and I don't have anything to do with a hangnail, but I'm going to go ahead and submit it anyway. Don't be that veteran. But if you want to, that's you. If they tack on another month, 2, 3, 4 months because you did that, it is your fault. But at the end of the day, this is your claim. Make sure you get educated. You understand this process. You understand if you're at step 6. You understand what happens if you do something to get you sent back to step 3. With that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.